What's going on, everybody? This is Malcolm again with another episode in the one-on-one series presented by Fandoms Anonymous. If you guys have been enjoying the one-on-one series, let us know in the comments. Let us know if you got somebody that you want us to talk to, or let us know what you think about the one-on-one series as a whole. The one-on-one series is the floor to reach out to people all over the country and hear what it is that they do for a living, hear what it is that they love to do, what their passions is. And, of course, it always ties back into fandoms, whether it be your Power Rangers, your Marvel, or your DC, or your anime. It all ties back into it because people do other stuff other than just watch cartoons all day like most of us do when we have time. Mm-hmm. They actually have jobs and lives. So today I'm talking to one of the best people I've ever seen that does voiceovers, because I actually know him and I talk to him rather than the people you just hear on TV. I got Mr. Gabriel Kunda on the line. What's going on, man?
Yo, Malcolm, thank you so much for having me on, man. This is awesome. This is great.
Most definitely. I know the last time we talked, we were doing the voiceovers when it came to the Arkham Asylum games. And you were doing the Joker, and you were doing the Batman, and Alfred. You were doing a lot of different characters. But now, man, you have grown massively since that time. And I think that was a year and a half ago the last time we had did an interview together. And you have grown massively in that time. First of all, for those people out there who want to do voiceovers or who want to do something in the position that it is that you're in, tell us how you can do it. But before you answer that, tell us a little bit about yourself.
It's been a while since we talked, but I started kind of I did some radio in high school. I was a part of radio broadcasting team, and I did that for a couple of years while I was there, and I entered a competition called For Skills USA, and it was for basically you had a voice talent, which was me, and then you had a partner with editor, and you would compete in a room but with a bunch of other kind of voice talent and editors, and so they would give you a prompt, and that's what you would have to compete with. So we were doing kind of commercials and all that stuff, and I ended up winning the national level for it. From there, I was like, oh man, this is what I want to do. This is like something that I want to pursue, but I didn't know how I was going to, do it. But I got into college, and I studied music education. That's my major right now. I'm about to finish here in a couple of weeks, graduating. So I'm going through college, and I just maybe I could do some voiceover for some churches or something like that, just to kind of get myself started, because I really wanted to do stuff like trailers and commercials and all that stuff, and then sooner I'll probably get into animation and stuff. But I started doing some voiceover work for churches and small when barbershops would have their commercials or advertising, whatever, I would do stuff for them, and just small stuff, man. And it started building. And in about 2015, I said, well, I need to do something to kind of to get myself in a representation by an agent and get myself really going. So I think I'm going to make some videos, impression videos. And so that's what we talked. You kind of saw the videos of, I did the Batman stuff and kind of all those cartoon stuff. I kind of did that just to be kind of separated from everybody else who was trying to do voiceover, kind of to get discovered in a sense. So I worked on that for, I did that for a while, and a couple of my videos kind of went where I got a lot of views and recognition and stuff. And Tyrese Gibson from Fast 8, he reposted my video. Gladys Knight reposted my video. There was a lot of people who kind of supported me, and it was really cool. And so that, I got into that, and I did my commercial demo, my first commercial demo, and I sent it off to an agent, Atlas Talent, which is the biggest agency here in the United States. The top represents in New York and LA, and I signed on, and doing all types of some amazing work, auditions and stuff. But I'm also doing a lot of work for Funimation Studios here in Dallas. I'm doing a lot of their projects they've got running. Some things I can talk about, some things I can't. And also video game stuff, and it's really cool, the stuff that I'm getting into now. It's I've been doing a lot of promos as well for Spike TV, one of the voices on there, doing some work for Apple Music, really all around the board. I'm really trying to diversify myself as far as voiceover. But yeah, that's pretty much it.
Most definitely, man. And I went through your listing that you had posted where it was basically all of the commercials and everything you've done. And it was awesome to hear your voice on a lot of that stuff. And I myself, a lot of people said I have an interesting voice. And you honestly, you inspired me to want to jump out there because I was like, somebody that looks like me is doing something that I would like to do. Yeah. I just thought to me that it was just so cool. So I even dabbled one time doing like a little commercial, and I used my voice, and people absolutely loved it. They absolutely loved it. So another thing I wanted to ask you was, how did you get to working over at Funimation?
Well, yeah, Funimation was it was really cool how everything happened. So it's kind of like fate, I think, because like I was trying to figure out a way because I wanted to get into anime because it's I have I'm a fan of some anime shows and stuff, but it really helps with your acting. Like I'm really learning how to act because you have to do everything in time. Like it's not like animation of the U.S. where like you can just kind of act or you can just do your lines or whatever and they animate to your voice. These characters have already been animated, so you're dubbing. And so it really trains you to be, kind of creative and beyond with your acting. But as far as Funimation, so I was trying to find a way to get in, and I knew if I just submitted the old regular way, I think they give like an email where you could submit things on their website or whatever. And I was like, I knew if I submit it there, it's just no one's going to hear it. And so I was like, there's so many people that are submitting every day. So I was like, there's got to be a way I can submit. So I knew a casting director. He was casting for a show. I obviously didn't know if he was casting for a show, but I knew that he was working on a show. I didn't have his email address. I didn't have anything. So this is going to sound weird. It's going to sound very weird, but I don't know how it happened. I went in my email address and I just typed in his first name and his last name at gmail.com. I typed it in. I said, I don't know who it's going to hit to. I don't know if it's going to hit. It might bounce back to me. But I just so happened when I sent it, a few hours later, I get a reply back from him saying, hey, I'm actually casting for the show. Here are like 6 characters. Audition for them and send them back to me. And I was mind blown because, again, I didn't have his email address. I didn't have anything but his name. I knew his name. And so I just kind of put 2 and 2 together. I was like, okay, let's just see what happens. And it turns out, like in the email, when he sent me back a reply, in the email it had a little, I think it was like a period that was in a different place in the email, which I didn't put there. And I was like, what the heck? Okay, well, hey, the way it happened, it happened. And so, yeah, and so I auditioned through there, and he got it. I came in about 2 weeks later to do kind of a read, and it worked out. And so I was a part of the cast for the show Non-Baka, and that show. We just got done with season 2 and everything, and it's on Funimation. And then I was able to do a lot of other stuff. Right now, I'm working on One Piece, and a major character in that one, and then other small role bit parts in Puzzles of Dragons and other kind of big parts, but. And I'm also just kind of trying to work on other stuff there too. So it's some fun stuff happening with Funimation.
Most definitely. Now, one question I have for you is, what would you say to those people who are out there who are listening, who are wanting to get into the voiceover or the animation work?
I would really, I'd say really, first and foremost, if you have no acting experience, if you don't have any musical theater, please take an acting class. That will help you tremendously, simply because, I think a lot of people get the misconception is like, okay, all I'm doing is just sitting behind a mic and just speaking. No, honestly, you're acting. Like, if you take away the mic, you've got to still be able to give that emotion and, to bring those, bring it to life, bring the character to life. The only thing they're doing is just put a mic in front of you and they can't see your face, so you really have to emote that. I think voice acting is one of the highest forms of storytelling just because we really, with the voice, I'm supposed to make you feel like you're in this world in a different place in your whether you're like in a war game or whatever the deal is. Like your purpose is to bring that to life, and so I definitely think taking acting classes is so beneficial to doing that, and then kind of moving on to working with a voiceover coach, and then working on a demo, and then start submitting to casting directors or an agent. That's mostly what you want to do to get the ball rolling, because demos are kind of your calling card, and that's how they know what you can do, your range and all that stuff. It's very important.
Now, one thing I did see you just recently do was you traveled out to California and you did a demo. How was that trip?
That trip was fantastic. I worked with a demo producer, one of the top demo producers in LA. His name's Chuck Duran. He works with, every person in the voiceover industry. He's worked with them. And so I went out there to record it because I wanted to submit to a top agency that I had in mind, who also represents people, the likes of Jim Cummings, Richard Horvitz, Bob Bergen. There's Winnie the Pooh Bear, Invader Zim. Those kind of Porky the Pig, like those, and so many more talented people. Dave Fennoy, amazing voice actors. They are represented by Atlas. And so I wanted to be represented by them, but I knew if I didn't have a good demo, then I wouldn't be able to. So the thing about agencies is, if you, depending on they get all the material. Like they'll get your auditions for video games, or they'll get your auditions for commercials, all that stuff that you wouldn't normally be able to get on your own. And so when you're with them, you're able to have access to all those things, and they'll send you out for stuff to audition for. And so, I went out there to LA, I recorded my demo, came back, submitted it, and that same week that I received it, I signed on. It was fantastic. It was the first time out there in LA, and it was just, the creativity out there is just crazy, man. It is crazy. I was able to stop by the Disney studios and stuff, and just kind of got to shake hands and all that stuff, and it was great.
I'm glad you got an opportunity to do so, because it's always good to do things that will help advance what you're doing. Whether it be a degree, whether it be taking a few classes, whether it may be watching some videos online. And it's one thing that this series that I'm doing is synonymous with. It's a word. It's the word consistency. And like I always say during these interviews, it's not said. It's not verbally said, but it's implied based on what the person is doing, what they have done to get where they are. What would you say about the word consistency?
Yeah, I definitely think it's something that some people don't really. For me, it's important for me to have that, because a part of my everyday, especially with voiceover, because sometimes you can kind of go with VO. You never know really when you'll book something, when you won't book something, and sometimes if you don't book, your tendency will be, hey, maybe I'm not really cut out for this, or let me chill out on the auditioning and stuff. But actually, that's the moment when you have to kind of push harder, right, at that point. So I think consistency, just that's the point where it really comes in, is you have to keep on working, because you never know. Even when you book your gig, your first gig, you're probably booked something, maybe an animated series on Netflix or whatever, and they say, hey, we're going to pay you this X amount of dollars, or whatever the deal is, or you get to do this. It doesn't stop there. You have to keep auditioning, because the thing about the VO industry, you never know when you can be either replaced or the show can be canceled. You just never know. So it's always, you always have to be looking forward to the next thing, and keep working at your craft. Never think that you're, there's a cap, because there's people out there in LA, man. I'm in Dallas, but there's some voice actors who are amazing, incredible, and they work every day, and it's you can't really beat them out, But they've got to that point because of being consistent in their craft, and so it's important for you to do the same thing. I think it's vital, especially in the voiceover career where things are not as consistent as far as getting work and all that stuff. It's important for you, at least on your side, to be consistent and bettering yourself.
Most definitely. Now, what I always like to do is give people the opportunity to plug where they are. So let us know where everybody can find you.
Yeah, you can find me on Instagram. I'm on Gabe Kunda, just Gabekunda. You can find me on Facebook. Same thing, Gabriel Kunda. On Facebook is Gabriel Kunda, and I post all my all my videos on there. I do music stuff too, which is cool stuff on there. And then I'm on YouTube as well, Gabe Kunda. Follow me on Twitter, Gabe Kunda. Same thing. And I'm all on those sites. So add me on there, and I normally follow back.
We thank you for joining us today, man. If you guys don't know who we are, we're Fandoms Anonymous. That's FANDOMS ANONYMOUS. We're all over social media. Come follow us on the YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and like our videos and hit that little notification bell so you can get notifications of other videos. Also, we're on Facebook. Come join the Facebook group and join the discussions as well. And don't forget to hit the like on the Facebook fan page. And don't forget, we're on Twitter and Instagram. We're on Twitter at anonymous_fan17, and we're also on Instagram at Fandoms_anonymous17. But Gabe, again, thank you for joining us today, man. And guys, as I always say, if there is anything else, thanks for watching and have a good one.
Fandoms Anonymous.